Oh, no. Oh, no. Introducing the jail scale. The more deplorable the person, the higher the rating. And the more they should be locked up for our safety. Order now and we'll throw in the OOC meter. Chapter 16. The breakfast in which everything happened. Feli, wake up. Feli. Dear God, you really are a heavy sleeper, aren't you? Arsenius was trying his best to wake up his grandson in the smoothest way possible. He was aware everybody in the family hated being disturbed while sleeping. It made them a little, well, very mad. Feli opened one eye and closed it immediately, but once his brain processed it was his grandpa. The sentence just ends there. Grandpa, why are you awake? What time is it? Arsenius inhaled deeply before answering. 6:30 a.m. What? Feli was now awake. Shh, you wake your brother. Feli covered his mouth with one hand. Son, please don't be mad. I have a good reason. The younger Italian raised an eyebrow, his face starting to show some anger. Contrary to what everyone thought, it was him and not Romano that was the moody one in the mornings. There's something I think we would like to see. Would you like to come? Feli sighed and grabbed a shirt from the floor to follow his grandpa. It better be worth it. Parentheses =, W, smiley face, apostrophe. They were now in the kitchen and Matthew was already there. They wouldn't have noticed the boy if he hadn't offered some coffee to them. Excuse me, son, who are you? I'm Matthew, sir. I'm the host Arthur sent, so if there's anything you need, or you need help with something, please let me know. Well, that's nice, boy, but Arsenius took the cup from Matthew and asked him, Boy, why are you here so early? Well, somebody asked me to. A sudden fade of red covered Matthew's cheeks. Arsenius cut him dryly. I bet it was the stupid albino. Feli put down his coffee. Grandpa, please don't call him that. You're being rude. That boy doesn't deserve any respect. Feli tried to drop the problem. He didn't want to start his day with a fight. So, what was it you wanted me to see? The smile returned to Arsenius, and he looked outside the window as if waiting for something incredible to happen. Boys, what you are about to see is one strange specimen in his natural environment. Feli and Matthew didn't know what to expect. Feliciano even thought that his grandpa was making up stories, but just then he heard noises. They're coming, Arsenius almost whispered. After a few seconds they could see Gerhard running in the beach, and behind him was his grandsons. They could see them clearly from the window, as there was already enough light. How did you know? Bailey muttered, but didn't take his eyes away from the scene. Well, they always do it. It's a way of spending time together since they don't talk too much. Well, aside from the loud red-eyed monster. Gerhard is the habit of exercising with them. You may think this was creepy, but I bet you couldn't have resisted this temptation as well. The three men were wearing tank tops and shorts, while Gerhard had his hair in a ponytail to keep it out of his face. Gilbert and Ludwig had their bed hair all messy, but this didn't make them look less attractive. Feli didn't say another word after his grandpa's explanation, and now he didn't regret at all being awake so early in the morning. The Germans didn't talk to each other, they were just following some kind of routine. Remembered how he wished he someday would be able to watch Ludwig working out. Granted. And all thanks to his grandpa. But sure, the elder man was having his part of fun too. What Feli didn't understand was why Matthew was still looking through the window, and what he could possibly find so interesting in the scene. When the men outside were about to start push-ups, Gilbert stood up, earning a glance from the blondes. He just gave them a smirk and started running towards the house. The other two yelled at him, but he just ignored them. Always ruining my plans. Boys, get away from the window! Arsenius was pissed. He took his coffee and sat next to Feli in the table and outside in the kitchen while Matthew continued with the breakfast. Gilbert entered the house a few minutes later, all sweaty and looking really tired. As he hadn't noticed anyone in the room, he took off his shirt and used it to clean up the sweat from his face and neck. You couldn't stand the rhythm, loud boy, Arsenius said in a mocking tone. Why does Arsenius hate Gilbert so much? I don't understand.
You scared me, old man. Why are you here so early? Vati said you were a lazy ass.
Watch your mouth, boy, or
Vat, are you gonna spank me?
Arsenius made a mischievous smile. No way, I have done that to your grandpa.
Ah, man, stop saying that stuff. It's disgusting.
Why? Can't you accept our close relationship?
Yeah.
Gilbert shivered with the statement and covered his ears as if he could prevent the thoughts from invading his head. Meanwhile, Feliciano was clueless of what the men were talking about. Hey, loud boy!
Stop calling me that. I'm not a child anymore.
It seems the opposite to me.
What the hell do you want?
Arsenius changed his face. He wanted to talk about something serious now. When is your brother telling Gerhard about Feli?
Gilbert gasped. I don't know. It's all his business.
No, it is not, Brett. I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut any longer. Feli looked at his grandpa, worry in his face. I'm sorry, Feli, but Gerhard is gonna get really mad if he finds out he's the only one who doesn't know about you and Ludwig. Besides, if he really is serious with Feli, I don't see why it should keep it a secret.
He is serious!
Gilbert almost yelled. Arsenius and Feliciano looked at the albino perplexed.
He's going through a hard time right now, and you should know that, old man. You know my Vati, but you shouldn't doubt him. He's deeply in love with your grandson, so don't push things, alright? Bailey was moved by the way Gilbert had defended his brother. When he looked at Arsenius again, he saw surprise in his expression. Alright, Brett. Tension atmosphere gone. Stop calling me a kid!
Gilbert was all flustered. Why? Even though you're already grown up, you still behave like a child. Well, don't you have to go somewhere? And please cover yourself. I don't want Feli to look at such a lame image. Gilbert grabbed Arsenius' shirt and was about to beat him, but Feli's pleading face won him over, his wish to kill the elder man. Feli could breathe again when Gilbert let go, and his grandpa was laughing maniacally. Tch! The German walked towards the kitchen. He was in the mood of destroying whatever dare cross his path, until... Morning. Gilbert stopped and noticed Matthew. Suddenly, all the hate he had felt disappeared. Because of fucking course it did.
Hey, birdie, I didn't saw you.
Gilbert noticed Matthew's face flushing.
What's with that face?
Then he realized he was still shirtless and Matthew was looking at him.
Like what you see?
The albino said in a flirty tone. Matthew flushed even more. He served Gilbert some coffee, just to hide his face. He may be a little surprised by the other man's well-built body and the sexy face he was giving him, but he wasn't willing to allow the German to tease him so early in the morning. He managed to clear his voice and regain control of himself, and in the most indifferent tone he could manage, he glared at Gilbert. Yeah, you wish. This is all so out of character for Canada! Yeah, you wish, Gilbert. Arsenius' voice came from outside the kitchen.
Mind your own business, old man.
Gilbert's eye twitched at the laughter he received as a response. He looked at Matthew, who was hiding his own smile with one hand and offering Gilbert a cup of coffee with the other. Gilbert wasn't going to forgive that. Matthew was right in front of him, so he took Matthew's hand between his and inclined a little so their faces were just inches away. He made a small smile and murmured, "Thank you, Birdie." Quite simple gesture, yes, but he made all this seem like a dreamed fantasy for Matthew. It wasn't difficult with the grace of his moves and his good looks. Matthew stood still at the scene. You're welcome.
What is this, Birdie? Am I making you nervous?
Gilbert returned to the joking mode, breaking all the charm. Oh, you're so childish, Matthew said with exasperation.
Don't be shy, Birdie. Is my awesome body blowing your mind away?
Don't flatter yourself so much, Gil. They're already acting like they've been a couple for years, even though they just fucking met. This is... You were doing so well, but now the writing is going downhill. Like it does for most Prukan fanfics. Oh!
So you've seen better, said Gilbert, making a pose.
Of course he's seen better. His brother has super strength. Shut up.
If you are not impressed, then you must have a reason, right, Birdie?
Gilbert approached the shorter man dangerously. Dangerously? What is he going to do? Stay away from me.
Let me see and judge for myself. Gilbert pulled up Matthew's hoodie, making the later red as his shirt. Wow, Birdie, I must apologize. You aren't so bad yourself. Nice abs. Of fucking course he has abs. Matthew may be short and lean, but he had a toned body, perfect for his size. I couldn't have expected... Matthew has fighting to free himself from Gilbert until he hit the man in the stomach. Okay, I'll let you go. Gilbert raised his arms in rendition. But I must say, I couldn't have expected that from you.
Well, it may be because unlike other people, I don't always wear the clothes to show every inch of my body.
Hey, calm down. It's not my fault. All I have is sport clothing, and I need it for my job after all.
Is that all you like to show off?
A little of that too.
So, what is your job anyway?
I'm a gym teacher.
Well, that explains it.
What?
You don't really need to use your brain very often, do you?
Don't underestimate Birdie. The soccer team I'm training just won the last coup.
They won the last coup. The last coup d'etat. We took down the government last time, Birdie.
And it's the first time Hetalia High School wins a soccer championship.
Oh, I'm impressed. Matthew faked being uninterested in Gilbert's talk. This is so out of character.
But what would you know about sports? It's all in the kitchen for you. I still wonder how you can have a body like that by just making pancakes.
Well, you're right. It is all about the kitchen for me. But for your information, I do know about sports. But just the real sports, not your stupid soccer thing.
Oh, really? And which sport would be that? Hockey?
Hockey, of course.
Hockey? Pah!
Gilbert started laughing. What's so funny?
Sorry, Birdie, but you don't look like the hockey type.
They aren't all big and muscly, dumbass.
Oh, he said the dumbass. Canada's mad.
They as well need fast and agile players.
Still, I don't see you in the description.
Oh, just get out of here.
What about the pancakes?
They aren't ready yet.
But I thought you said they'd be ready by now.
Well, you ran away from your training, didn't... Matthew shut his mouth. Crap, I said more than I should.
Birdie, were you spying on me?
Gilbert was about to start the teasing again, but Matthew grabbed a knife from the counter. Just get out of here.
Okay, I'm going.
Smiley face. Gilbert was in his way upstairs when he ran into Francis. You are back from your workout with Patty and little Ludi?
Yeah, I was dying there. They are freaks, man. 5 a.m. in the morning. They are nuts.
Didn't you sleep well?
No, that's not it. I went to bed very late yesterday.
What? Why? Oh yeah, you went to bed at 3, so we only got like 2 hours of sleep.
But I was talking with Matthew and...
Oh, ho, 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 ho. You showed him them 5 meters, huh?
No, pervert. We were just talking, but I was having a really good time, so I lost the notion of the time.
Talking? You mean like when the other person speaks and you listen to it before replying?
Of course, idiot. What did you expect?
Well, mon ami, it's because it's not like you. The only person you talk to is your grandpa and Ludwig, and perhaps sometimes with us. But almost always the times your all speeches and monologue are about your awesome.
Straight to the point, pansy.
You must like this guy.
I knew you were coming with something like that.
It is true, Gilbert, and you know it.
I just met the boy. I don't know a thing about him.
But you would like to, right? Gilbert was about to answer, but the words didn't come out. Did he want to know more about Matthew?
Get off my way, Francis. I want to take a shower.
There's no hot water upstairs. I was going to check the bathroom here. Gilbert and Francis gave each other a sharp glance as if they were going to start a duel. I'll go first. Francis rushed down the stairs.
Like hell you will be first.
Gilbert jumped the railing and fell in front of Francis. They both ran, but again, Gilbert was the winner. He closed the door on Francis's face. Gilbert, let me in, idiot!
I don't think so, my friend.
Arsenios and Feliciano had been watching the competition. Faley was giggling before Arsenios took another sip of his coffee. Yup, still a child. Smiley face. They're not the same as the Owos, but I will take it. Romano didn't want to wake up, but he felt as if something was out of place, but he couldn't put the finger on it. He tried changing his position, but he still felt something weird. What was it? He opened his eyes a little. It was already morning, but Chiggy! He sat in the bed, but hit his head while doing so. It wasn't his bed. He was at the stupid bunk bed in the stupid beach house because his stupid family had dragged him to a trip he didn't even want to go. Romano, are you okay? What do you mean if I'm okay, bastard? Didn't you see what just happened? What the hell are you doing in my room? Or a better question is, why the hell are you stalking me? No, it's not like that. I was just watching you sleep. Okay, time to put you on the sex offender list, Antonio. That's creepy, Antonio. What the hell was wrong with you? No, please let me explain. Romano crossed his arms over his chest, waiting for a quick and believable answer. Matthew said that. Who? Matthew, the host, he arrived just last night, and, well, he said breakfast is ready, so... Was Antonio nervous? I came to tell you, but you were still sleeping. I didn't want you to wake up, and I was about to leave, but... He made a pause, and Romano raised an eyebrow. So? Well, you both look so calm, and I couldn't avoid watching you. Was that blush? Romano had never seen the other man show any sign of embarrassment. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. Romano was tempted to mock the Spanish. The Spanish! For his sudden personality change, but preferred to enjoy this moment. Forget it, bastard. Just get the hell out of my room. Romano! What now? You're bleeding. Huh? Romano had hit his head harder than he thought. There was a cut on his head, and there was a trail of blood falling from it. It's just He didn't even finish his sentence when Antonio had already taken him out of his bed and was now carrying him bridal style. It was Romano's turn to be embarrassed. What are you doing, idiot? Put me down, damn it! Antonio ignored Romano's request. He was too worried the Italian was hurt because of him. He entered to the bathroom in his room and searched for the first aid kit after placing Romano in the edge of the bathtub. It's just a small cut, the bastard. No, it's my fault. Romano stopped complaining at the words. Please forgive me. Romano blushed. I told you it's not a big deal, damn it. Why do you have to make such a big fuss out of nothing? I'm not a crybaby like my brother. No, you're not. But you don't let anyone else know when you're hurt, and that's worse. Romano was speechless. This man had once told him he could read him like a book. He doubted that statement at first, but now he was sure he had been wrong to underestimate Antonio. The two men were silent while the Spanish was checking on Romano's head. It was indeed a small cut. Thank you. Huh? Antonio kneeled to see Romano's face. Thanks, bastard. Romano was blushing. So cute. I told you not to call me cute, damn it. I'm sorry, correct word would be handsome. What? Romano's voice broke. Can I kiss you, Romano? The Italian fixated his eyes on the floor. Yes. It came out as a whisper, but clear enough for Antonio to hear. He lifted the brunette's face with his fingers and planted a soft kiss on the lips. Romano responded to the kiss and threw his arms around Antonio's neck, and they stood like that for a few moments. Antonio wanted to deepen the kiss, but while trying to do so, Romano lost balance and fell inside the bathtub, Antonio on top of him. What the? Why is this shit full anyway? I was about to take a bath, but I didn't notice that there was no hot water until it was full. Antonio, you gosh darned idiot. Romano rolled his eyes. This kind of thing can just happen to you. Antonio smiled and stood up. He offered Romano a hand, but the boy was sitting, mouth agape. Wet clothing left nothing to the imagination. He could see Antonio's body perfectly. Antonio wasn't aware of this until Romano was outside of the water. Unfortunately for the Italian, he was shirtless and just wearing his boxers, his face all red, and he was trying to cover himself with his arms, but it was worth it. Oh, is this where the smut comes in? Antonio witnessed the show and couldn't help feeling aroused by it. You know how much I like shirtless Romano. He expected the shy boy to insult him, but instead, well, I'd like to see you shirtless as well. A half smile in the younger boy's lips. Antonio didn't hesitate and did as he was told, revealing his body. Romano couldn't take it anymore and did what he always happened in the fantasies he had had recently, in which obviously involved the Spanish man. Finally, you get it correct!
Being shorter, Romano grabbed Antonio's hair, pulled him down so he could kiss him passionately.
Alright, so to keep this a little bit more family friendly, I will fast forward through the smut. But don't worry, I still kept my commentary in.
Antonio, desperate to kiss more, the Italian grabbed the other man's butt and lifted him. Romano surrounded Antonio with his legs. A sudden increase of the weight forces Antonio to rest their body against the wall. This movement made him ran the water of the shower by accident, but Romano threw his head back, and Antonio used the chance to cover the chest and neck with warm kisses. Romano wanted more, so instead of asking, he moved his bosey, so they both fell to the water again. Romano, shut up! Romano gave Antonio another kiss, this time his tongue playing on the other man's lips.
With the cold water, that you can't, with two men, with the cold water, that's gonna cause some shrinkage.
Antonio allowed the entrance, and they were now kissing and biting, water falling over them, making every sensation more vivid. Romano took off his boxer, which was really easy while they were in the water, and
Is this, can I be arrested for this?
Antonio did the same, but since they had so small space, Romano climbed over Antonio and cornered him to one side of the bathtub. Now he was sitting over the Spanish.
The Spanish? Are you sure you want to continue? Antonio said after freeing himself from another kiss. Yes, I'm sure, Romano said with a cut voice.
Antonio caressed Romano's butt softly, and once he found the hole, he introduced one finger.
Okay, how do you instantly assume that he wants anal sex from that? Romano tried to suppress the moan. Why are you moaning? Oh my, that's not how that works. That is not like a, no.
He rested an arm on the wall so he could have some support. I don't want to hurt you, Antonio said, almost panting.
Okay, this is not going to feel good for Romano. This is going to be painful for Romano unless he is a masochist. I'm fine, keep going.
Antonio didn't want to make the pain last long for the younger boy. He introduced two more fingers. Romano had to cover his mouth to avoid screaming.
Romano had to cover his mouth to avoid screaming. He then hugged Antonio. The Spanish took his fingers and moved his hips so we could enter Romano. We are all fucking Romano today. We are all going to take Romano's virginity right now.
The Italian nodded. Antonio managed to get his whole penis inside the Italian, earning a gasp from the honor. They started at a slow pace, but when they finally established a rhythm...
Bullshit! I call bullshit on that. So, no condoms? No nothing? Ow.
The thrust increased. Antonio helped Romano up and down. The shivers of the pleasure ran through him as Romano lifted himself off his hips, only to fall back to meet the thrust of water slashing at each movement.
It'd be all over the floor at this point.
A bursting of bliss swelled inside his abdomen whenever he connected fully. Neither of them needed that much more to finish.
There is no lube! None! Oh, you need lube! You need lube! This wouldn't work without lube. Okay, apparently the water would help, but you still need some lubrication if you're doing butt stuff, especially if it's your first time. Oh, poor Romano. Poor Romano. And you would definitely need more preparation than that.
The way Romano had his thighs tightened around him, the subtle details like the shudders and pressure, his body tensing and glistening with sweat, all those images making Antonio enjoy it even more.
Wait, aren't they in the bathtub? How can you tell that he's sweaty?
It was something he didn't want to lose anytime soon. Not now, not ever. He wasn't ready to give Romano away to anyone. These selfish thoughts were crossing Romano's head as well.
By the way, you are doing this with a minor. You are very much going to jail today, Antonio.
Feeling that he was close to release, Antonio helped Romano bade him rise again, the second still guiding him, fingers wrapped around the base to pump his number. And finally Romano came under his care, throwing his feet over his wrist, and across his abdomen with a silent moan.
Wouldn't it just float in the water? Okay, the smut isn't written too badly, not going to lie.
Antonio could now concentrate on himself, slamming up into the welcoming body a few more times, and Romano's muscles squeezed him so hard, he was pulled into a sudden orgasm, killing him while he was still on top. After he was finished, Romano slid off of him to find some free space on Antonio's right side. Antonio threw his arm around Romano and let the younger boy's head rest on his chest. They kissed him in the forehead.
I'm going to jail!
They were both panting for air, and the water was still running. They now realized they had folded the room. How do you fold a room? How do you fold a room in half? I know it means flooded, but still. Romano reached the faucet and closed it with his foot. He returned to Antonio's chest.
They stood like that, enjoying the silence. You're going to have a lot to pay for. When Antonio finally recovered his breath, he kissed Romano on the lips. One more time. Te amo, Romano. Romano stared at him in amazement. Antonio just smiled. Yo también te amo, bastardo. They stared at each other when a voice ruined the moment. Oh mon Dieu, that was hot. Francis, no! Antonio and Romano looked at the Frenchman standing in the door frame. You fucking watched that? Okay, screw that. You're going to jail too. That was technically CP. Romano's face distorted with fury, but this time it wasn't him who burst in anger. Oh gosh, it's Spanish, but I'm going to try. Francis, hijo de puta, vete al carajo de aquí o te castro, maldito desgraciado! Francis didn't get a word of what Antonio said besides his name, but just seeing his face filled with hate was enough for him to leave the room. Well, actually, run frightened is a more accurate description. Romano looked at Antonio. What was that? I did show you some bad words in class, didn't I? Romano facepalmed. I thought you weren't capable of showing anger. Antonio blushed for the second time that day. Well, that rarely happens. Francis can be a pain in the ass from time to time. That was sexy. What did you say? Spanish was cut by another kiss. End of chapter 16.